Good afternoon, everyone. I'm pleasure to be here to share my views and my transformation journey. Thereby, I wanted to start with a common notion that we always come across. So that notion is basically a life and our dreams. A life is a reality, and a dream is all about what we wanted to achieve in our life. Now, what is that? It kind of journey is nothing but we say our work. Most of times we call it as our career, but I call it as work because that is what we do. Now, let me ask this question like, say, when you think of dreaming big, now most of the entrepreneurs would face this question saying that what do you want to become and how do that journey goes by. There would be a lot of struggles, a lot of sacrifices, a lot of views in terms of people talking about it, people kind of disowning what you wanted to do, all of that. Now, what is this all coming about? Where is it all coming in? And as an employee also, you see that work-life balance as a keyword where always your corporates or a manager says, hey, you need to do a balance. You need to balance your work and the life. You need to be with your kids. You need to be with your family, thereby enjoying the life that you have. But again, the story goes back and says, no, how am I supposed to manage my startup or my business in my journey to ensure that I make success is all about there is a sacrifice. That, my friends, is something is what I have untied that journey and then defined myself a path that can lead to a success. And that has been my mantra in terms of leading my career and leading my life. And that is where I am here to share my perspective of transformation of the life. Does that require any strategic thinking? Why do we are talking about strategic thinking, which is talking about life? That is where I call strategy is not about only for business, strategy is all for life as well. It's all about strategy is nothing but being intelligent in taking certain decisions, in making certain choices, making certain views, and making certain perceptions in taking our objectives towards a positive era. Now, that being said, my first rule is embrace to unknown. Now, what is embracing to an unknown? I mean, we as in human beings, we all know matter of the fact that we cannot choose our parents. We cannot choose our lives. We cannot kind of come prepared with saying, okay, let me born myself into this world as like a kind of son to a Billa or like say to a kind of Bill Gates. Yes, life is all about accepting to the reality and then moving forward and embracing to those unknowns. Now, what by then that means is you don't need to be born to Birla. Rather, why don't you think of making your parents Birlas? Why don't you aim to be that? Why don't you aim to kind of work towards it? So that being said, my life started in the same way where I was born from a kind of a very reserved and kind of a under poverty kind of a family where my dad used to get a daily wage of 150 rupees. That's how we used to kind of live in. But it's not that what I was really worried about. I was all worried about what is next. What is that unknown coming in my life? And I had to embrace everything that is an unknown. But one grace that has happened is every unknown that I have accepted in my life has turned to be an opportunity, has turned to be a stepping stone for my success in the future. One such example that I wanted to bring before you is that moment where I had to kind of earn as an additional income to my family, and I started to work in a hotel in our hometown. Now, working at a hotel there, I try to learn what are the intricacies there, how to run a hotel, how to do a waste management and everything. And that, my friends, have turned later to my business today that I am running a strategy consulting company. I was consulting to one of the greatest chain of food outlets in Hyderabad, which my expertise then has given a lot of perspective to the current business, and then we were able to grow them to a 4 outlet chain to a 51 outlet chain. That was like is what embracing the unknown. The second is cultivate the adaptability. Now, what is this cultivating an adaptability? Like say, you don't need to go every place and say, hey, no, I need to feel like a home. I need to have my kind of chairs set right. I need to carry a fresh water. I always wanted to be in like cozy place, all of that. Now, that is all what we do in an environment ways. Similarly, when we move from company to company, our comforts will start moving in. The growth that we think of, the city that we move, the friends that we make, we continue to move on with the journey. But the challenge is how do you adapt to them? And what is the power of this adoption is also a great thing. So if you try to adapt to the environment that you are about to kind of aim for, what it will give you is ease. That ease will enable you to perform better, will kind of deliver great results, and then will not have a kind of hesitation at the back end saying that why did I take these choices. Such great experiences of adaptability being working together. So that is where again I've learned some good exercises in my life, good experiences that I've carried for my life is so started to kind of adapting to the environment. Even if I was told to do a job which is out of my box, I would say, hey, I'll rush it, put my energies forward and then do it. The reason why I do it is that is giving me an extra experience to the moment, to the objective, to the business that I work. I might think that this is a new skill that I have added to my bucket. Let me go ahead and use this skill whenever it is needed in my life, trying saying that, yes, I know this. That is exactly that extra moment that I wanted to use. Now, my friends, the third one I would say is focus on your purpose and the values. Now, thereby, my simple analogy to this focus of purpose and value is your purpose might be at a great level, but your values matter to it. That is where most of the corporates coin this word as vision and mission. So, where your kind of purpose should be always noble to what you wanted to achieve, but your values are the ones that has to drive that. Now, thereby, I might simply take a simple example saying that you might wanted to become a millionaire. Now, what are our options? We might take one option as, okay, I can go and do a rob the bank. Or number two, I work hard with my business and then grow it next to level where I can make that million there. Now, what is the option that we all choose? Is like working on our business. Why? Because the business is the area where it says that your identity is formed, your recognition is built, your journey is being bragged about, your kind of personality is being admired by a lot of people. So that is where the values comes into a picture. How much ever the great the purpose is, kindly see to that you don't kind of compromise on the values. Those are the values that will build an identity for you and that will make you stand before everyone as a personality. That's where the greatest personalities in the nations are made. So that is how we should think. Our focus always should be on the purpose and then the values in retaining to that. That, my friends, is one of my story where I built a company and always I have dreamt about building enterprises. So in 2010, I built a small startup. I said like, okay, let me try build it. I know all of it. I had already by then at 10 years of experience. I thought I'll go ahead and build it. Now what I tried to do it is there was an option for me to go ahead and do a data entry works or try to build a cross kind of a job consulting works and all of that. But my purpose was to build a good enterprise that can help businesses. So that is where though my company failed at that point of time, I still continued to perceive. I took up multiple other jobs in between to learn what I need to do, how do I build my values, what are those exact intricacies that I've been missing in my failure startups, and then try to build that company that I dreamt about it. So that is where I kind of laid my path in terms of focusing on my purpose and the values. The next and the final one I would call is reframe all your failures and then try to make your stepping stones for your success. So this, my friends, again is one of the 4 fundamentals that I've been following in my life is every failure that I kind of encounter, I kind of learn from that failure. And then I make sure that the failure is written in my book. And then I say, hey, nobody else can teach me far better than my life. because my life has a real-time examples that I have encountered, my successes, my failures. That always motivates me. Hey, what is that I can do versus what I cannot do. That is where we call self-reconciliation is the greatest tool that any individual can have that will make them move forward in their lives. That is where this rule talks about is refrain all your failures and then make them as a stepping stones for your future success. That being said, these are the four fundamental kind of life philosophies that I've been following and managing myself to be here before you as a successful serial entrepreneur, having my strategy consulting company, helping growing a small and medium businesses. Even there, my intelligence have put in my next level forward, wherein I felt, hey, while there are a lot big consulting companies are there to strategically help a lot of businesses in the world, but who are those strategy consulting companies that are helping those startups who are struggling to kind of set their path forward, who are struggling to set their visions properly, who are struggling to identify what the mistakes are. And today, this strategy consulting company that I've built is helping those small and medium businesses. And within this couple of years of my growth, we've been able to kind of help companies to create an impact of over more than 600 crores. So that is the journey that I'm encountering today with all these four principles that I maintain, I believe, and I follow as my religion for a successful growth that I'm seeing in my life. Wherein at the last note of my talk today, I wanted to say this one famous statement that I strongly inspired by kind of a cinematic writers, I would say, is this, which is success is just like, say, it is a journey. It does not have a destination. It's all about how you move on and then try to take every element, every moment of that, every unknown, embrace every unknown, build your own resilience about it, accept to the fact, and then try to set that journey that can be an inspiration to the people around us. So that, my friends, is a great path for us to be successful, and never ever believe that success is about only making some numbers or reaching certain milestones. Success is all about a journey that you enjoy and then you brag about, you are feeling confident about, and then you wish that you are helping back to the society that has given you so much so for all your life. Thank you so much. Wishing you luck.